Hello everybody and welcome to our session, our final session in the BIG Conference series, Mind the Gap, Strategy, Execution and Portfolio Management. If you're an executive, strategist, governance or change professional that's felt the pain of great plan, poor delivery with respect to strategy execution, this session's for you. In previous sessions, we've covered the strategist perspective and the governance and risk management professionals perspective. Today, we're covering the portfolio management, the investment portfolio, the change portfolio management perspective. I hope you find it interesting. My name's David. You can look me up on LinkedIn, but I'm one of the founders of the BIG CIC, who was inspired to collate and share this knowledge and this idea that we can better connect from purpose to vision to strategy to delivery and back again. Our guest today is Steve Jenner. When I first met Steve, he was the chair of the APM's Portfolio Management Special Interest Group, and I believe from memory, Management of Portfolios had just been released, and that was my first look at professional portfolio management and how it was written. It was inspiring for me, so I'm delighted now that Steve's able to present with us and talk to us about portfolio management, especially since he's done upgrades and developments of that thinking with managing benefits and managing portfolios publications, which we'll find at the back end of the session here today. The session was about an hour long, a little bit longer with some questions. There were questions in the chat, but we had moments where we could ask questions as well. I'll write up a blog from this. This is the recording. We're sharing it. And basically what we covered was most of the time was spent with Steve talking to us about his perspective on portfolio management. And then we wrapped up towards the end with a compare and contrast with some of the aspects of BIG, which was partly the point of the session today.
I suppose the start point is to first of all, I should say David listed 5 things I was going to cover. Can't restrict me to 5, David. I'm up to 7 in this version. So I had a couple of further thoughts. But anyway, I don't know. It might be fun. We'll see. Maybe I'm getting confused with this morning. Look, guys, there is this. I mean, when I say why portfolio management, well, I was on the BIG Projects Conference earlier this morning, yesterday, and Monday, I don't know, so long ago now. And obviously Bent Flupia's research appears to show people post these things on LinkedIn, only 1 of 200 projects succeeds. And you think, well, get real. It can't be, because, I know Royal Mail aren't very good, but, broadly speaking, stuff gets delivered. And I saw Adrian Dooley posted a post on this very issue this morning or yesterday, because I say to people, planes don't fall out of the sky usually, banks usually work, trains work, the road system works usually. But he posted one saying you get up, you make yourself a kettle, which was probably designed by a project team at some point, and then you get in your car, which was designed by a project team, and you drive to the station on roads that were designed and built by project teams. And then you get the train into the office, and the building was built by a project team, and so forth. So I think saying only 1 out of 200 succeeds is ridiculous. It's plainly ridiculous. But on the other hand, it's clear that projects, whatever we mean by success, isn't as good as it perhaps could be. And there is a gap, however big that gap is. And the trouble is, when projects go wrong, they can go wrong in a big way. I was looking at because it was a mega projects conference, so I was looking at the escalator costs on HS2, and I think just broadly, I think it was something like 32 million in 2011, 50 billion in 2013, 80 billion by 2019, now forecast to go over 100 billion. For what? For what? You know, it's not the whole rationale originally was, there's not, people then say, well, yeah, but England's not like France. France, you've got Paris and you've got, I don't know, Lyon or something. There's not that much in between, or at least not many cities. So you can draw a straight line. It's not the same in the UK. Yeah, the project track record isn't good, shall we say? And the strategy execution. There's a report done by the Economist Intelligence Unit where, and I had the quote earlier on, but it was something along say, wherever you look, it's disappointing. So kind of typical economists, disappointing. So I think it's these two. This is often people talk. HBR, Harvard Business Review, talks about the strategy execution gap. I remember years ago when we set up the APM PMI, portfolio management specific interest group. I remember what was the OGC at the time organised a session in government, and they brought the strategy guys and the project people and the business people all into a room, or representatives of them, and they asked me to chair the project guys. And I said to them, well, at least in theory, guys, what you're doing is delivering on the strategy. You're delivering the stuff that's supposed to make a contribution to the strategy, at least in theory. Do you guys ever talk to the strategy people? And they all said, we've got no idea who they are. We know they're in the building somewhere, yeah, but who knows? Funnily enough, I'll tell you a story. When I was in Treasury at one point, or Cabinet Office, and they were based in Treasury at that point in time, and I was asked by the guy who's behind, one of the guys behind the Treasury Green Book, which are the rules for investment appraisal in government. And Joseph Lowe, and he said to me, he said, what I want to do is I want to get the Green Book published, and then what I want to do, I want to get an exam scheme. So I hear OGC have got these exam schemes with APMG, like Prince 2 and all that. I said, yeah, absolutely. He said, well, I want to go and see these OGC people. Where are they? I said, they're in the next office, Joseph. Crying out loud. So give you an idea, headquarters doesn't always speak to headquarters. So it's about closing. I make this absolute truth. I said, you guys need, I went to see Treasury. I said, you guys need to get out more often. Frightening. Because they issue the rules. And in about 2005, I said to them, can I come and have a chat with you about the new Green Book and the rules that you've got? Because I've got some thoughts about this. They said, oh, yeah, come over. So I had a chat with them and we disagreed, obviously. I'm an accountant, they're economists. So we disagreed. But at the end, I said, so what other feedback have you had from government departments? And they said, none. You're the first person that's come to see us. I said, no. Did you not think of asking people? They said, no. Why would we do that? Jeez. Frightening. Anyway, better get on. We'll be here all day. Right.